Hey, sweet friends. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I'm here to give you just a little update on your Unit 4 exams that are coming up and also to cover the grammar. So here we go. Jumping in, the Unit 4 exam follows pretty much the normal routine. Questions number 5 and 1 through 5 are reading comprehension, where it gives you the passage and then it gives you 5 different questions over the same passage. Questions 6 through 10 are listening comprehension. So those are the ones where you push the button, you listen, and then it gives you questions based on the audio passage. 7 through 25 are vocab. So make sure you study up on your vocab. Make flashcards, make Quizlet, whatever works for you. And then 26 through 45 are conjugations of verbs. These are intense, just like last chapter. So make sure that you know the difference between preterite and imperfect. It's mostly over imperfect, obviously, because that was the focus on this unit, but you also really need to understand the difference between imperfect and subjunctive, and imperfect and subjunctive, imperfect and preterite. And look for time words. Things like I did, right, yesterday. That's going to be a time marker for a specific point in time. That's going to be preterite versus words like mientras, which are descriptive, like while this was happening. That would be imperfect. More on that later. Know your irregulars. There are only 3 different irregulars in imperfect. We'll talk about that a little bit more too in just a little bit. 46 through 50 are about culture. So those are things from your unit that you should already know. And then the speaking and the writing tests. Couple pointers there. Make sure you meet the time limit. So for the speaking test, that's a minute minimum. I do take off points if you don't meet that minimum. And then make sure something that'll help you with that minimum is speak slowly. I expect you to be thinking about these responses as you're going. So don't write them ahead of time. This isn't meant to be a practice of how well you can write and read off of a piece of paper. This is meant to be how well you can speak on the spot. So that's what the real world's like, and that's what these tests are meant to be like. It's not for you to prepare in advance. And I will grade accordingly. I understand that. And then, just make sure you're flipping the questions around. So if it asks you a question, make sure you use the same structure in your response, and then you answer it. So you're not only including the prompt, this is a common theme I've seen in your work, that your readers don't know what you're talking about unless you include the prompt information. So make sure you flip that around in your answer. And now let's head to the grammar stuff. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to go to imperfect, if I can find it here. All right. So, oops, there it is. This is just the imperfect tense, and then after that, we will hit we'll hit the imperfect versus the preterite. So these are a little bit tricky, but they're super fun to say. So just make sure that you get the pronunciation down. And for AR verbs, it's going to be hablas, habamos, that's the tricky one, habáis, and then haban. So for example, my favorite one is trabajar, because you get all the habas. So it's trabajaba, yo trabajaba, tú trabajabas, usted, él, ella trabajaba, trabajábamos, trabajabais, and trabajaban. And then for the ER, it's going to be ia, ias, ia, íamos, iais, and ian. I had a friend who's a teacher who always used to say ABBA, like the singing group, or ia, like Iowa, when she would hold a piece of corn. So she had a CD of ABBA and a piece of corn for Iowa. So maybe that'll help you kind of lock that away for later. A verb in the ER might be like comer, yo comía, tú comías, comía, comíamos, comíais, and comían. And then those 3 irregulars are going to be ser, ir, and ver. You can thank the heavens that there are only 3 irregulars after the preterite last week. We hit that tough stuff first. So it's going to be era, eras, era, éramos, erais, and eran. Ir is iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, and iban. And then the veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, veíais, and veían. Check it out. There's an accent over the I on éramos and over the I on íbamos. but veía has an accent on every single one. So overall, I'll leave you to read this on your own. You guys are smart cookies. But imperfect is used to describe ongoing events. So think one of my favorite illustrations for this is like think Goldilocks and Three Bears, right? My last name is Bear. So think Goldilocks and Three Bears. Goldilocks was walking through the forest, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and the birds were singing, and all of these things are happening, right? That's all description. So it's all going to be imperfect, past tense. But then she met the wolf, right? That's a one-time completed action in the past. So let's jump over to Preterite. That's going to be, I'm going to head down to the summary right here on the guion. So it's for a one-time action. It's for a limited or specific amount of time, especially with change. So one of the classic examples is like, yo tenía 7 años. I had, right? You say I had 7 years in Spanish rather than I was 7 years old. So yo tenía, don't use tuve, use tenía. Yo tenía 7 años cuando aprendí, I learned, one-time completed action, andar en bicicleta, when I learned how to ride my bike. Or, for example, yo estaba andando en mi bici, I was riding my bike, so it's ongoing action describing the background, cuando me caí, and mi pierna estaba sangrando, right? When I fell and my leg was bleeding. That would be preterite. So imperfect is for used to, was, would, repeated, customary, or habitual action. So for example, every Sunday night we used to eat pizza. That would be a repeated action. And then past emotions, time and age, description, circumstances, setting the scene like we talked about with Goldilocks, ongoing or in progress actions, and then unspecified amounts of time, like the video talked about when you can't see the beginning or an end of something. However, with preterite, it's for one-time completed actions in the past. Talking about change when there's a start or a stop or an interrupting action. Again, look for those time marking phrases like ayer or el año pasado or una vez, right? The rest of them are going to be imperfect, like mientras or siempre or cada semana, right? Things like that. And then I think the rest of this, you guys probably already, you can read through it. Email me if you have questions. I'm always down for that. If you have any questions between all of this. But I also wanted to further what, this is just a little, Sarah tidbit, but what they said down here, be patient with yourself as you're learning this. Let me stop my screen sharing here. This is tricky, and it takes a while to really get it down, and it's okay if you make mistakes. I still make mistakes with it, and I catch myself. So it's one of those ongoing, I'm human sort of things, and if you make a mistake, it's okay. So like it said, listen to native speakers, see when they change and when they use one or the other. Sometimes it's super cool. Sometimes like this year in living in Costa Rica, I even find somebody making this mistake and I can ask them, don't you mean this? And they're like, oh, yeah. Or somebody will ask me a question, a native speaker will ask me, oh, why did you say that? And I can explain the reasons why. So it's super cool to be able to show your mastery in something like that. So anyway, good luck on the test. I'm super excited for you. You're going to do fantastic. And let me know if you have any questions. Aside from that, have a great week. Stay dry. I'm poured again here today. So anyway, keeping dry in my house. So anyway, hasta la vista.